So as to start off, like as to how to properly hold a month-old baby, this is what my teacher taught us. Because the baby's head, they're not fully developed, so they have like pieces of bone that's not connected. So technically, their their brain and because the bone is not fully developed, so you can literally feel like squishy on an actual baby's head. You can actually feel squishiness, which is like, so their brain and their skin is just like one layer, like, just that one. So it's really thin. So we have to hold a baby properly, because it can later cause actual damage if it's actually a real baby. So for today, I will just teach you guys how to actually hold a baby correctly. And so first, there's different methods of holding, but no matter which position you're in, you have to support the baby's head, because their neck area is really fragile. And so the most important part is to secure the baby's head. You can hold it like this, like anyway, like this. See how I always support the baby's head? That's the most important thing. And for example, if you put it over your shoulder, it's the same thing. You still have to secure it. Or even if it's like sitting on your lap or something, just have something to support the baby's head. So now it's about like 11:25-ish, like 23:25-ish, and I'm about to get ready for bed, and I have Yugyeom with me in my arms and sleeping, because I just finished feeding him and all. So right now I'm gonna put him to bed. So now it's about like 11:25-ish, like 23:25-ish, and I'm about to get ready for bed, and I have Yugyeom with me in my arms and sleeping, because I just finished feeding him and all. So right now I'm gonna put him to bed. Now in day 2 of our baby project, and I guess it's not that bad, and like it's kind of easy, but there are still some difficulties. Like, I always lose track of time. Because every 2 hours I'll have to feed Yugyeom. So So the thing is, so I just lost track of time, because every time when I check, like after I finish feeding, and then I want to do my stuff, and then all of a sudden, two hours have passed, and it's 2 or 3 hours have passed, and it's time to feed again. So that's a difficulty for me. And another thing is that I learned that babies, they can't, like 1 month old, they can't sit up by themselves yet. So the way I position them, like how I used to position them in the past 2 days, isn't that great. I'm good at holding them, but sometimes I go to the bathroom and in school or something like that, I just put it on my chair sitting up, which is not actually a good idea, because their head is still really heavy, so they just tend to fall over and plop over. So that's why we shouldn't. It's the same idea of why we should protect their neck area. So now I'll show you guys how I usually just feed my baby. So there is actually two types of ways you can feed them. The most natural way is, breastfeed. That's the most natural way. Another way is by using bottles. So sometimes at home I prefer to use a bottle because I'm just sometimes a little lazy, so I just use the bottle, which is really nice. So I will show you guys how I feed my child. So usually, because now I'm holding my phone. Wait, let me do it like that. So one of the way is so I'll show you different methods. First way is by breastfeeding, which is still it's the same way. When you hold your child, you still have to protect their neck, and then basically bring it up to your chest, and they'll just feed on it. But some people just doesn't like this method because it makes their breast look small or something like that, so they just want to keep it in shape. And once the baby start growing teeth, it's painful. So that's why some people doesn't prefer breastfeeding, but women and moms we're born to breastfeed our child. So, and actually, when we wake up in the morning, if we're as a mother, if a mother wakes up in the morning, they don't usually although it looks like they're awake and by the sound of their child's cry, but actually they're not awake. It produces this when they breastfeed. It produces this hormone where their body inside is still asleep. Still asleep. It's still not working. So yeah, that's one good thing about breastfeeding, but because we're born to do that. So that's one of the hormonal changes. And then once you finish feeding, you can automatically go back to sleep. Although you feel like, oh, I'm so awake, but your body is actually not awake when you're breastfeeding. So, okay, the second method is by using a bottle. It's still you have to secure it the same way, the neck, and hold on to its arm, and possibly by holding down here, or using your one arm, and just feed it like that. So I'll now also talk about some of the taboos in holding the child, because trust me, a lot of people in our class, which is S1 and S2 combined, they're holding their baby by not supporting its neck like this, which is not a good idea, or by their legs upside down, or just dragging it and dunking it like a basketball. Those are not okay. Even if you're holding your child, no matter what position you do, I personally really love this position because it's super cute. This is my favorite position when I walk. which is holding by its neck and the bottom, or sometimes just simply like that, holding by its neck a little, because sometimes I might need to grab other stuff. This is by far my favorite position in holding my child, like that, which is like super cute. So no matter which position, like I said, I have to stress this, you have to hold on to the child's neck, because their neck is really fragile and their head is heavy and they can go bonk. Like, really, just support the neck. So now I will just like rock my child, and then, or like just gently sing some lullaby and stuff like that. And then I have a bed. So this is the bed I prepared, really nice and comfy, and I'm just ready to put him down. And yes, whenever you pick up your child, like, remember to, like I said, secure the neck part, the head, because that part is really fragile. So it's nighttime, so everybody good night, and that's it for today. Day 1 is over. So now it's like about the 10th day of the baby project, and sadly it's the final day of the baby project. So tomorrow is Friday, and so it's time to say goodbye to Yugyeom here, and I'm really happy to have do this project and have him with me. So I'm a bit like I feel like I can't let go of this project, but I really have a lot of fun. I wish in the future we can do this again. So you guys might be asking why suddenly it's already day 10 and where are other difficulties. I didn't do any reflection for those days, because I feel like I started to get used to having a baby around me and kind of get addicted to it, kind of. And so I kind of get used to it, so there's not much difficulties compared to the first or second day of my project, where everything is just all new to me, like, yeah. So let me tell you like a really funny story to lighten up the mood a little. So on Monday, like on Monday, like I took a metro home with Yugyeom in my arms, and so I was on the metro, so I have to transfer lines. It was first like I was on line 8, everything's fine, and there's literally no people, so none of the people stared at me with Yugyeom in my arms. However, because it started to get to 5 o'clock where it's like a peak, where a lot of people is coming home from work and stuff like that, and I transferred from line 8 to line 1, and so I was on the metro holding on to the bars, and with Yugyeom in one of my arms and a bunch of lunch bag in another, and then I have like book bags and stuff like that on my back. And the funny thing is, I thought everything's going smoothly, nobody's staring at me. However, like after a few stops later, where it's closer to my stop, I think mid-aged man stood up, and said, and told me, "Here you go, have a seat." It was really funny because, like, it's a really cool experience where you get to get, like, that, respect and privilege. But I was, like, laughing because they think the baby Yugyeom is real. My Yugyeom is real, but obviously they didn't see the face. So they only see back of the head. And there's that old grandma sitting across from me, kept on asking me questions, but I just kind of just pretend I don't understand what they're saying because I don't want to answer and I don't want them to realize it's fake. So when it's my stop, I quickly got off. So anyway, I really have a lot of fun doing this project, and I'm sure that I'm gonna be a good mom in the future, and I just really wish to see Yugyeom one last time before I graduate or something, or I don't know.